Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to get a snappier sounding bass drum with just a few simple tricks. Let's get to it, shall we? Before we get started, I want to ask you to please consider subscribing below for more drum lessons and tips and tricks and just overall awesome drum stuff. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. Okay, so you've probably seen every other YouTube video out there that shows you all the different types of beaters, but I wanted to show you a couple little extra things that these people aren't really showing you. So let's go over to the drum set and then I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So there's a few things you want to consider here. First, we're going to look at the beaters on the kick drum. Now, I have these Iron Cobra beaters on my kick drum right now. I've had them for many years. You can see they're worn out, but they will produce a much less attack on the sound of the kick drum as opposed to a wooden beater. Now, it depends on the session and what the music calls for. That's why I have a few different pairs, and I'll go through those later on in the video to show you exactly what kind of sounds they will produce if you use them differently. So here is my Lowboy custom beaters. They are wood, they've got no felt on them, and those, when they hit the kick drum, they will reproduce a lot more attack from the kick drum. Then later on in the post-production, you will not have to go ahead and try and tweak that in the EQ. Next, I've got these sonic beaters that came with my Axis pedals. They are a lot heavier, and I've since switched to the wooden ones because I'm looking for a more triggered sound, and I'm trying to get that attack on my kick drum to cut through some really heavy guitars. I'll show you these anyway, and they've got cork on the end of them. They're pretty cool. My second tip is a Fallum Slam from Remo. You put that on your batter skin and that increases the attack when you use a wooden beater like my Lowboy here. So what it's doing is it's giving you that clicky noise and more snappier sounding noise than those felts that I just showed you. And another great thing about these is that it protects your bass drum skin and adds longevity to it. Now all it is a little sticker. You peel the back off, you put it on the front, and you can see where I've worn it that it does in fact help with wear and tear on your batter skin. So that's another cool little tip and trick that I can offer you guys to get a clickier and snappier bass drum sound. Tip number 3 is kick drum tuning. I'll show you guys exactly how much tension I put on my head, and it adds quite a bit of snap and low end to my mix. Now you can see here as I push into the center of the kick drum that there's a bunch of wrinkles that show up in the kick. I in fact do not have it very tight at all. If anything, I have it as loose as possible. Look at that amount of flex in there. So what I do is I put the drum key on like any drummer would, and I tighten it about a half turn and then back it off just so there's no tension at all, as you can see on the lug there. And then I'll go ahead and do another little bit of half turn so there's just enough tension on the rod for it to stay taut. And I'll do that all the way around, and that's how I will get all of that thump and low end with the snap from the kick pad. Pretty cool, right? So out of the 3 different types of beaters that I went through, the low boys, the iron cobras, and my sonic beaters back on the drums, which ones do you guys prefer and what do you think sound best? I guess it's all personal taste, but I'd really like to hear back from you guys and see what you guys think is the best sounding. Once again, thanks so much. I'm Cameron and see you on the next one.